All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Beating the Score. Again, this is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC and Lincoln Public Schools. And just looking forward to this next segment right here. We got two individuals. First off, I'm gonna say Emily. I'm gonna mess it up all in. Amelia, Amy. No, I'm gonna say she likes to be called Amy. So Amy's a scholar at Lincoln Northeast High School, and so glad to have her here. And then got I'm gonna say Mr. Jose. I don't know. I just feel awkward being like Scholar Jose, but Jose, who's the head soccer coach at Lincoln Northeast, and also does some work in Lincoln Public Schools. So welcome. Glad to have both of you here today.
Thank you, Pete. It's been a while since I've seen you, but it's always good catching up with you, seeing what you're up to and everything.
Yeah, awesome. And Amy, how are you doing this morning? Awesome. Amy's a woman of few words, but we're gonna get her going. So, hey, Jose, like you said, yeah, it was good to connect with you again this week. And our background or our history kind of goes back. I said earlier, grade sixth, seventh grade over at Dawes Middle School, and so just really proud to see where you've come and what you're doing, and always had that that I don't know, that drive of you were going to do things. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Has your history always been here in Lincoln School? Just briefly up till now.
Yeah, so I'm a product of Lincoln. I went to Meadow Lane.
Okay.
I was the part of their ELL program back in the day where there was like ELL at a few different schools, not like all public schools.
So those who don't know, can you tell what ELL is?
Yeah, ELL is the program for it's basically English language learners,
Okay.
where kids who are struggling with English a little bit, not struggling, but maybe want to learn English at a faster rate, will go into these programs with teachers, and they'll learn English as along with their curriculum, math, reading, writing, all of that stuff.
Right. And then you said Meadow Lane, and then after that, next steps from there.
Yeah, so then I went to Goodrich at Dawes when that was the thing. When Goodrich was getting renovated, and then that eighth grade year, I was just at Dawes when they reopened.
Okay.
And then I ended up at Northeast, and I've been there ever since.
Awesome. And so you quite the journey and everything, and like I said, accomplished in your own right. What kind of drove you to stay kind of in Lincoln, Nebraska? I mean, what was so special about it, and then to kind of be involved with Lincoln Public Schools?
I didn't know what I wanted to do after I graduated.
I don't think any of us do. I got Harrison here. We're still trying to figure it out, so that's not a bad thing.
No, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I went to Central.
Okay.
In Columbus, Nebraska.
Yeah.
The community college up there. I did soccer there for a little bit
Okay.
for a semester. Then I decided to come back here. Chris Emily, one of my biggest mentors, people that I look up to, he said, "Why don't you come over to Northeast, help me coach the goalkeepers?" I was like, "I'm not doing anything. I might as well, head over there." And so that kind of got me pulled in. I started kind of maybe saying, I could be a teacher someday, maybe. I don't know. I don't see myself there. But that was 5 years ago, and now I'm here, and it's what I want to do now that I have been around, kids and my soccer girls and kids that color, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
And how long have you been the head soccer coach at Northeast?
So this will be my 5th year.
Okay.
I'm going into my 5th year. Yep.
All right, so fantastic. And so you got Amy. We're gonna joke because she told us the joke earlier. Is like I said, it's Amy. She's like Amelia. That's what they call me. You're gonna have to tell us the story about that in a little bit. But tell us a little bit about who you are, and just kind of maybe your journey. Have you always lived in Lincoln? Where did you go to school? If not, how did you get to Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Lincoln. I went to Kehoe for elementary school. And in middle school, I went to Mickle, where I met a lot of the girls that I played soccer with now. And then after Mickle, I went to Northeast High School, and I've been there ever since.
Okay, awesome. And so, what else? I mean, you do soccer, obviously, but I know each of you, the scholars that we're going to have on, are involved in some other things. What else are you involved in?
Right now, I'm in the student council and National Honor Society, and I do cross country in the fall season, and then right now I'm managing.
Okay, so you're not busy at all. You kind of just hang out when you go to school, wait for lunch, and then kind of leave. So, I like the fact, like you said, multi-involved in a lot of things, but kind of going into your soccer journey. Like, when did you get involved with, just extracurricular type things? But let's just say, especially soccer.
My freshman year, I started soccer. Actually.
Okay, so your freshman year in high school.
I hadn't really played before that. But I had a lot of friends who asked me to play. We always need the players, and so I just decided to try it out, and it was really fun. I really like it, and I like the team. And then for like cross country wise, I was doing that off and on since elementary school, but soccer really started in freshman year.
That's I mean, honestly, that's cool in a lot of ways because I think we've had a lot of people in here, and I think the show's obviously sports radio, but I think of I don't want to say speed and power and all this. We've got there's a lot of athletes that come here. I think for Sean and AD, and I think if you ask them, a lot of them will be like, well, I started in like third or fourth and fifth grade, and I just kept going. It's something I always wanted to do, and the fact that you started as a freshman provides a unique perspective, but it also tells a lot of people like don't count out things and opportunities. We've had people talk about they're specializing and they're this, that, and the other. And so I'm really glad you said that. For parents that might be listening, for scholars that might be listening, like give it a try. And you were asked, and so I think sometimes people wait, they think they're never going to get asked, and you were. So that's cool. Tell us a little bit about the soccer program, Jose. Like what makes the Northeast soccer program so special that somebody who has not played and as a freshman gets asked and wants to be a part of your program?
So we've been fortunate enough in the last couple of seasons to be able to have a varsity team, but we've been kind of struggling for numbers a little bit sometimes with us not having maybe a JV or a reserve team.
Okay.
But last season we had for half a season until girls started going down with injuries. We did have two teams. Amy here is a perfect example of what I look for in a Northeast player, right? You don't have to be skilled. You don't have to be experienced when you first join the program. But she had that determination. She had that grittiness. She had that never say die attitude that that Northeast identifies itself with. So she put her head down, got to work, and she's a junior now, and she last year started most of our games until she got a concussion. So very, very, very proud of her and her achievements. And I hold her up all the time as an example of someone that that we want to shape the program around. You don't have to be the most skilled player or the most experienced player, but as long as you've got that never say die attitude and willing to put in the work, we will take you.
Yeah, I think that's a compliment. I think every characteristic that you put out there, as I sit and look at Harrison, we're just both kind of nodding. You want that for not just a team, but you want that in a business. I mean, you want that in a significant other. And so I think, what you have and what you've established, you don't always have the largest number of numbers or the skill, but you want individuals who are committed, who are invested, who are going to be, I guess, in quote, coachable. You hear that term. And so, Amy, what makes you want it? What made you want to be part of this program and stay? I mean, you could have just said, this is something I tried as a freshman. I need to move on. But here you are as a junior. You're still here.
Yeah, so freshman year, we were kind of coming back from COVID, and so players were obviously down. And my sister was a senior that year, and then I had a couple close friends who just said that I should go try it out, and I did. I was not very good. I had very little skill on the ball.
You haven't seen Harrison and I play. I mean, I'm thinking we might need to put a scrimmage together and go ahead. You will be an All-American, get recruited very quickly by going against us.
Yeah, and so I had very little skill, but I met a lot of people that I really liked. The team, it's a really great environment on the team, and I think that's what kept me there. And then just learning and the passion to get better just kind of kept me going. And as I saw results, I liked it more and more.
Awesome. Well, again, you're on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson, BHS LLC, and Lincoln Public Schools, joined here by Amy, Amelia, slash, AKA, and their head coach, Jose. And it's just been phenomenal. And also, if you want to chime in or whatever, we got the Honda Lincoln hotline or 464-5685, and go ahead and give us a text or shoot us in with that Sartor Heyman as well. So I know I screwed that up, Harrison. My fault.
You're all good.
He's looking at me.
Right.
I was like,
right.
boom, 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 let's go. But like I said, Jose, I've known you for a while, and you talked a little bit about mentors, and we just got out of January, National Mentoring Month, and the station's profiled organizations like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and Teammates. And who are some, you talked about mentors, but who are mentors that you had, and why is that so important to you personally, but also to these young ladies as well?
I mean, I want to shout out all the mentors that I've had in my life, but I think I'd name half of Lincoln here if I did. I said Chris Simley. He's been a huge influence on me, on my outlook in life, my philosophy of coaching, all of that jazz, and I just I'm appreciative of everything that he's done for me. Thomas Middleton at Southwest, another big mentor of mine. He kind of taught me the ropes and the politics of coaching an LPS when I got started. Ed Meidson, he's over at North Star. We coach club soccer together, so huge inspiration for me. Then I've got other mentors in my professional life. Dave Dyson, he's been amazing. Getting to know him and work with him for a couple of months here. I think I just want to give credit to everybody that's kind of helped shape me. Clayton Heath, he's the one that took a chance on that 18-year-old kid.
There you go.
So I'm very appreciative of him too. He's been amazing for me. But yeah, mentors are people that you look up to. When you're struggling, I call them up, like, hey, I have this. How do I deal with it, or how do I go and do better? And they just have a conversation with me. They talk to me. They tell me, give me advice at the end of the day, because they always tell me, we're not going to tell you what to do, but here's our advice, and we know you're going to make the right choice. So take my words and then be you.
I like how you said that. I always talk about relationships matter, and so for me, that's something that I preach. But relationships do matter, and you talked, how you explained all those individuals and the roles that they play. But what I really took away is at the end, you said they're going to give you advice and not tell you what to do. I think too many times people say like mentors are superheroes. Like I used to see those ad campaigns of mentor, you can be a superhero, and the fact is like, all of us can be in a sense, but we need Sherpas. We need people who will lead you and guide you. We don't need another superhero. We need Sherpas. And so the people that you mentioned and how you phrase that were Sherpas to you, and they guided you, and you're developing your own self and who you are, and keeping your identity. And so that was really cool to hear. Amy, Amelia, same thing, same question to you. Like, who have been some mentors in your life, and why is it important for young people to have mentors?
I think that like my high school coaches, my cross country coach, and Coach Jose,
you got to get Coach Jose in there. She was like going. I was leading you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they're really good mentors. I think high school coaches care a lot more, especially at Northeast, because the teams are oftentimes smaller. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more room for a personal connection with the coach, and they really know you and know what will push you and drive you and like keep you encouraged. And I just think it's really important to have a mentor like that, because it keeps you in love with the sport, or just, whatever you're with in general. Like it takes a good coach to really stay with the sport and enjoy it.
I love what you said, like to keep you in love with the sport. I mean, you oftentimes hear people talk about the X's and O's and the intricacies of what you have to do. And you just said you want to keep what it was like when you were in third grade and people were bringing orange slices out and you couldn't wait for, the Kool-Aid or whose mom's bringing snacks? Oh, or dad bringing snacks. You bring the cool ones. The other person just brings those non-name whatever else. And so I really liked how you said that. How are you a mentor to your other peers who might, come in? You said sometimes numbers are low and say, I was there, like, just stay with it. Like, this is going to be a really, really cool opportunity and experience that's going to help you grow as a person.
Yeah. A big thing like right now is recruiting and recruiting a lot of freshmen. And most of the time they're not doing a spring sport. They've never played soccer before. They don't have much athletic experience, but we just tell them to come out and try it out and see how they like it. I talk to them a lot and tell them like where I was at my freshman year and where I'm at now, and just let them know that like a little bit of hard work and effort, and they'll go far in soccer. it's really cool to like see like when people they go from like not knowing anything and then like to bring them up and watch them grow is really cool.
And the fact that you said that just as an athlete, a scholar athlete
Mm-hmm.
on the team, and saying the neat part is watching people grow,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going out in the halls and you're not going out for a spring sport, come out and I'm a big people say multi-sport athlete or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying be multi-involved. Again, we talked earlier about that specialization in this, and you see the graphs, and you see, and people will put that forward, and coaches will come in and say, I really want this. And the fact of the matter is, I'm a big proponent of high school. There's going to be, and that Harrison, you talked about your high school on here, like those are, you will become legendary and iconic there. And college is great. It's a phenomenal opportunity. And I think, I don't ever want to say, oh, less than 1% go and play, because then all of a sudden it's like, well, I got to be this huge dreamer or whatever else. You can find opportunities if you want to be involved, but being multi-involved in high school, that's something you won't ever forget.
Yeah, and it's because I got a quick story. My brothers, I think I've talked about it off air, but two of my older brothers, my oldest and then the second youngest, they were fine arts guys, and they didn't realize it though. It took them a while. They really wanted to get into basketball, and they were like, well, maybe football, and nothing was working. And they could have just called it quits there and said, that's kind of the end of my high school extracurriculars. It's just not working out for me. But they turned to fine arts, and they turned out to be absolutely phenomenal. And they did really well at that. So like you said, it's definitely worth your time to kind of try those things, especially the thing with soccer. And then, Jose, maybe I kind of want to ask you this question. Have you seen just the sport of soccer growing in Lincoln? I know it's not the most popular sport around here. Obviously, football kind of reigns over in basketball. But at the same time, I do notice we're seeing some more athletes. I believe we had not too long ago that one young soccer player.
Anaya, I think she was she's going to Illinois State, I believe. Yeah, at Southwest with Coach Nettleton.
Yeah, so I feel like we're seeing more players. Do you see the sport of soccer, girls and boys, just generally growing in Lincoln?
Yeah, I mean it's growing in the United States in general. I think it just surpassed either youth baseball, or youth football as it's to break into the top three played. Obviously, the World Cup a couple months ago helped bring up the soccer crazy here in Lincoln. But I think by the time that the United States hosts the next World Cup in 2026, I think we will see how much it's grown and how much the effects will trickle down. And then at the end of the day, it's a sport that a lot of coaches encourage, especially like your football guys, your basketball guys, because it translates. The athleticism part translates really well into their sports as well. So that's kind of how I'm going up to charity, being like, hey, send me some basketball girls. They already know how to do their defensive stance, and we'll shape them up. We'll keep them in shape for you.
Yeah. So. No, and I always think that's a plus in itself. Amy, Amelia, I'm gonna keep doing that because I want to make sure everybody listening knows who's on the radio today. What's some advice that you would give to young people? I'm gonna ask you two questions. The advice you'd give to young people that want to try something, or may not even be thinking about trying something. They just want to play ball, or they just want to play volleyball or whatever, like getting multi-involved like you are. What's some advice you'd give?
Definitely to just go out and try it. Like, you never know what's going to happen. A lot of the girls I've talked to said that they wish they would have done soccer. Like, some of my close friends said that they wish they would have done it, but this or this got in the way, or they chose a different sport over it. But just go out and try it. It's really fun, and it's like a big team sport. You get to know a lot of new people. But just any sport in general, if you think that it might be something for you, you never know how it would end up, and it could be the greatest decision of your life.
And on the flip side of that, what's something you need to tell parents that are like, man, my kid, but they're a baller, or they're gonna do this, or what's some piece of advice? I'm gonna say parents, and then I'm gonna also kind of say coaches, to make sure that they promote scholars being multi-involved in an authentic, genuine sense.
For parents, I definitely say, if your kid has a passion for something, just whatever they want to be in, I think that they should definitely encourage that, and not encourage where they want their kid to go, but encourage where their kid wants to go, especially if it's as long as it's a good decision, obviously. And then for coach wise, definitely promoting season athletes, but often what I hear is they will only promote one sport, a sport that they want them to go to. And I think that they just, as long as their athletes are committed to another sport during another season, I think they should be proud of that and seeing that their athletes are willing to put in the work and get out there.
Awesome advice. Hey, we're gonna go to break here, but real quick, I want you to tell us what do you want to? I don't say be. What will you be? After school gets over, what are your goals and aspirations? Quickly.
I have no idea, honestly.
There you go. So, like I said, she's open to any NIL or any other opportunities that can occur. So, contact Emily or Amy. She can use both names, so she might be double the price. But no, I just wanted you to get that out. Shout out to any of your family members, real quick.
My whole family, I guess.
The whole family. She didn't want to leave anybody out. So, hey, thanks, Amy. We'll be back with Jose and another member on Bigger Than the Score on 93.7 The Ticket.